Welcome back to the Rebuilt Parish podcast. Today in the studio, we are talking all things production. We have Marty from Focal Points Productions, and we've got Pablo from Church of the Nativity, and they are talking all about how to have a great mass production. And spoiler alert, what they're saying might surprise you. They're not telling you to go big to start. So tune into the episode to hear their advice on working on your parish tech. Well, Marty, Pablo, thank you for joining us today on the podcast.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Well, could I have each of you please just introduce yourselves and share a little bit about your roles? So Marty as the president of Focal Point Productions, and then Pablo in your work at Church of the Nativity.
Yeah, great. I'm Pablo. I'm the director of production here at Nativity. So kind of that role kind of encompasses kind of right now, like audio and video right now, and a little bit of lighting. We do have Simon that helps us with the lighting and with the contractor. But just kind of like oversee the production of Mass every week, weekend in, weekend out. We also, obviously on our campus, we have multiple events. So I help out with audio and video for different events that may come up, such as the Rebuild Conference.
Okay, so Pablo, when you say the production of Mass, though, let's talk about that for a second, because
Sure.
I have been in your tech booth. I mean, and it is a production. It is impressive. So just tell us a little bit about just the role that the lighting and the music and all of that, how that all works.
Yeah. So thanks for the compliment about how the booth is. So what we do is my background is in news broadcast for 27 years. That's what my role was for so many years until I came into church production. So I've tried to slowly incorporate what I've seen and what I learned through those many years in a newsroom, production room, into our church's production room. So that role kind of encompasses like making sure like we actually have a rundown like we did for like a newscast where there's like every element of the Mass is in a rundown bit by bit. Like Marty and I just joined us and we were reviewing for this coming weekend's Mass, and he just sat in the booth while we just went line by line to make sure things were set for the weekend. So we have all our cameras. Right now we use six man cameras plus some PTZ, like robotic cameras for those that aren't too tech savvy, that come into the booth, and we can control them in the booth. We can control how bright they are, how dark they are, the color temperature. We can do all that in the booth. And then we have a video switcher where we have volunteers that run all the equipment and they run all the cameras. It's all volunteer based. And they learn from the smallest, from the one of the cameras all the way on up to be in the booth as a director. So they will punch between all the different cameras for a song. They listen to the music. We have the audio from our front of house into the room, so they can listen to that and they can follow along with the music. We also have like a click track that says like when their verses are coming, when there's even when there's not a click track, they're just following just basically the rundown. And as a producer role that I'm in for that Mass, or my production assistant, Mary Arena, we're kind of like in that producer role, we're kind of just overseeing everything in the booth. And just, sometimes you get into a rhythm of a song, like what's next? Like we're just there to try to help out. Or if a camera operator needs some help with like focusing, like, hey, camera one, just check your focus, or frame this or frame that a little bit differently. And we might be talking to like 4 or 5 different people throughout the building for this production. So just everything comes into this room and goes out of that room is basically what the production booth is. Audio comes from different parts of the building and comes into the room again, and we just feed it out and just mix a great Mass. It is a production, just like it would be like a newscast where we have a flow of things that happen. So,
oh my gosh,
I hope that kind of explains it.
It does. And so we're going to talk a little bit more about this, but I just want to just encourage people out there. We have many people who contribute to, in the church, right? Who their experience is not necessarily working in the church world, and they bring their gifts and talents from the outside world into the church and just elevate the experience, which that's evident with what you've done with your experience in newscasting and all of your producing there, bringing it in and helping to make an excellent weekend experience. So that is incredible. Marty,
Yeah, and
can you?
I just
Oh,
want
I'm
to
sorry.
stress,
Go
like,
ahead.
it's like with the volunteer base, like we have people with all all levels of different fields that they might be in, from a doctor to a nurse to an engineer to a college student to a construction worker to a HVAC apprentice, whatever. We have all different kinds of fields of people. They come in, they volunteer with us. 99% have never picked up a camera in their life, and they're
Fun.
learning from day one. And that is kind of like the enjoyment of it too, is just seeing these people in all kinds of fields, getting on a camera, learning how to use it, and having fun.
That is amazing. That is amazing. Well, Marty, could you share with us a little bit about you and what Focal Point
Yeah.
Productions does?
So, yeah, thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here today. So I've actually known Pablo for 30 years. We met 30 years ago. We went to college together at Towson University, which is just right down the street from where we are today.
No college stories being told.
No, we're not talking about our college days here. So we've known each other for 30 years. We worked at the same TV station together for many years. Pablo, was in the in-house production side. I was a news photographer going out with reporters and doing the live truck. I worked early mornings. He worked nights. We barely saw each other, but we worked in the same building for many years. And only a couple of years ago did we kind of reconnect to do work together for Nativity and other projects. But so when I graduated from college in 2000, I started Focal Point Productions. So this is our 25th year in business.
Wow.
It's hard to believe it's been that long. We've evolved over the years of what we do. Today, we do video production, live streaming, and event services, which is kind of what brought me together to work with Nativity and Pablo again.
That's incredible. Well, I think it's important that we talk that, tech plays a huge role in the church world. And this is something that not a lot of parishes understand how to do. They don't necessarily, maybe they see the importance of it, but they are probably a little bit nervous about how does it work. So Marty, I would love for you to share, how do you see video and media production playing a role in church growth and engagement?
So before COVID, I feel like not a lot of churches, or not a lot of parishes did live streaming or did video production. During the first few weeks and months of COVID, I got so many phone calls and emails from parishes that were looking to play catch up. And, they needed to live stream their programs because people could not come to them. So they needed to bring their messages to the masses. So, if you think back to 4 or 5 years ago, nobody live streamed. Nobody did this kind of work. Think of where we are today. Name me a parish that doesn't live stream their programs or events. Everyone is doing it now. They're all not doing it well. Some just kind of are still using their iPhones or their Samsungs to live stream their events. Others, like Nativity, do it really, really well. This looks like a primetime network broadcast when you watch Nativity's services. Others out there, you feel like you're watching public access TV at 3 a.m. The production quality isn't there. So I think having really high quality productions, broadcasts, videos really helps to elevate anyone, whether you're a parish or a corporation or a business. You need that high quality video to really make your church, make your parish grow.
Right. Marty, you're so right. I mean, I think back to 2020 and the start and height of COVID when my parish is, I'm not local to Nativity, so I'm in upstate New York. And I remember we were live streaming with an iPhone and my ring light at first. That is how we recorded mass and that's how we live streamed. And then we had to pivot and had to partner with, thankfully we had a seminarian who was great with tech and who was able to connect with a local company to help us get some PTZs set up in our parish and get the right computer system set up. But it made a difference. And now that we've got quality equipment, it's made sustaining that live stream so much better. We're able to have a much better production, like you said, so it doesn't look like 3 a.m. public access TV. Now, not everybody is going to have Pablo's setup, right? Pablo's setup is like seriously, if you're not coming to conference, think about coming just so you can see this incredible tech booth because it's it's crazy. I mean, it puts ours to shame. I mean, ours is a tiny little, a table, but it just shows when you've got that quality equipment, that product that you're showing then, right? Your online mass is the front door for people. That's their first step of seeing your parish. So it's huge that you're helping other parishes get this set up. Pablo, I have a question for you. How has media and technology helped Church of the Nativity to reach and engage more people?
The way it has helped is like you kind of just said it yourself. It helps bring the mass to the people online that can't, first of all. So obviously we know there are homebound people, there's people in nursing homes. On occasion, you're sick and you just can't get to church. So I think with the video production and the media, I think in any type of media, whether it's the video elements or the camera elements or just the sound, I think it just helps enhances the mass, the feeling of being in the mass. It brings the mass into your home or wherever you're watching, and it makes it feel like you're right there. And I think that is really important for those that are watching online, for the online part of it. If you're in the room, I think it helps is the in-room experience. Yes. So whether it's, for example, when we have during the consecration, and Father raises up the host, we get that shot every week of the tight shot of the host, and then you see it in the screens on the screen, on the big screens. I think so. It just helps enhance the spiritual aspect of Mass every weekend, the emotional, there's just everything. It kind of just brings it all to life.
Yes,
and I think it really at times it helps feel the presence of the Holy Spirit in the room, or if you're watching it online.
Right.
I'll piggyback on that really quick. We were talking about this earlier when we were at their Christmas Eve Mass. I met someone that is from like Florida, and he drove up from Florida to be here for Mass. He's watched the live streams. He'll watch the productions. Now that's an extreme case, right? This person drove from Florida to Baltimore for Christmas. It doesn't have to be that extreme. It could be someone that lives down the street or across town that just watches, and then they want to come because they want to see what it's like in real life.
Absolutely. It's always incredible hearing stories of people who have become parishioners of Nativity because of the online Mass. And especially during COVID, we know we've got a member of our rebuilt staff who was an online parishioner before she became a member of our staff because it was made available by your team.
Yeah. So also on that, we have one of our creative tech members, Ron.
Yes.
He's part of Rebuilt, and he helps with coaching of a Rebuilt parish, and he talks about that parish all the time. And it's always great and he comes here once a month, and he serves on our team once a month. And he travels from Boston. He every month he comes from Boston to still serve with us because after COVID he had to go back to Boston where he was to take care of some family, and he stayed there. And now he helps coach a parish in Boston. And when he comes every weekend, he always talks, or we'll in a group chat. He's always talking about his parish and asking questions to me, and I'm helping him back via text. So it's always good to hear and see how all these other parishes outside of the Baltimore area are able to take advantage of the Mass production and see what we do, learn from what we do. We just had a couple from Australia that visited the parish, and that was just amazing to meet them and how they watch us from Australia. It was like,
yes.
Wow, like they gifted everyone with a little koala bear, and so we have it in the booth now. And Mary Arena has been moving it to different spots in the booth secretly.
I missed it when I was up there today. I didn't see it.
It's probably in a different spot, but anyway, it's just to have that just to hear the stories every week of somehow that Rebuilt and Nativity has touched someone's life or a parish is just amazing.
Right. I mean, think about, we talk about discipleship and one of, how are we going to reach people? And you're reaching people, not just locally who can't come, but you're reaching people on a global scale, which is incredible. And I know that there are even more stories of people who have watched Nativity from other countries and come to visit just because you make that possible for them. And you guys have really been the trailblazers for this and have shown this is what an online mass can look like. This is what a mass production can look like.
I want to say when you say, because what we have done, I cannot stress enough, it's because of what the volunteers have done.
Yes.
Like, it would not happen at all if it wasn't for the volunteers. So,
and that's a huge part of it.
All the praise goes out to them. So, not
right.
to me.
Well, I mean,
it's to them.
We think about, well, Pablo, you're only one person. You're not magic, right? You can't do all of these things. You can't run 6 cameras by yourself. I mean, if they were just all PTZs, you probably could, but you need a whole team around you.
But that wouldn't be an engaging show, right? You need those you need those operated cameras. You need someone following it. A PTZ can only do so much, especially if it's one person doing 6 PTZs. You can only be doing one thing at a time. So you need a big crew. Yep.
And we talk about making every member a minister. And I think what you've done with this creative tech team is build a culture where they're excited to come help out, where you've got Ron who comes in once a month to come and work. And I love when I see pictures online of people saying, I'm trying out the camera for the first time. It's my first week volunteering on the creative tech team. I mean, it's really fun to see how excited people get about this ministry. Now, I'm going to ask this for both of you. What advice would you give to parishes looking to improve their use of media? So whether it's for events, live streaming, or just general engagement?
I would say never stop learning. Always continue to learn. Don't be complacent and think that you know everything. Don't roll in 5 minutes before a mass or production. Do the time to prepare. You can never be ready enough. When you come complacent, that's when mistakes happen. That's when things go wrong. YouTube University is free. If you want to know how to do something, just go search for it on YouTube. Find some good channels to subscribe to and follow. And when you're bored, look in your feed and just watch some videos. Hire consultants. Have consultants come in that can train you and the staff to kind of take your skills to the next level. So those would be my tips.
That last one you mentioned is great. That's kind of how I came on to Nativity. I'm from Baltimore, so I've known about Nativity. I was in another parish, but working, as I said, full time in the news industry. And my brother, who is a parishioner here, and his wife, I knew they were parishioners here, and they talked about, hey, you should watch. It was like an Easter vigil, like you should watch the Easter vigil this week. So I was just working. We had like during lunch break at work and just started watching. And that's how I was like, wait a minute, how many cameras? My tech mind was going, wait, it's 1 camera, 2 cameras. I'm trying to guess how many cameras they use.
That's what we do when you're in this business.
When I go to a concert, my wife hates going to concerts with me because all I do is I look at the sound, I look at the tech booth, and I'm watching them and I'm watching what they're doing or looking at camera shots.
I'm like, where's that camera? Where's that camera?
Even the spotlight guy, finding where they are. But so, yeah. I came on and at the time I just came on as just a contractor, just on a few days a week and sort of like a consultant and trying to help hey, you can try this, you can try that. And just kind of just working on Sundays and maybe one other day a week. And then it just grew. And within a year I was full time and trying to enhance the production even more. So that's a great point about getting a consultant in if you're struggling, or ask Rebuilt, hey, can you put me in touch with Pablo and put me, we're trying to fix this problem that we're having. I've had other parishes reach out to me and with a problem, and we've worked on it together and made a solution for this. And the other thing I would also say and stress for someone that's trying to enhance something is start small.
Mm-hmm. You have to start though. You
have to start. Even if you've already started, your next level, whatever you're building upon, pick one thing and work on that first. Get that working how you want it to a point, and then go to your next item. So let's just say it's the type of camera. If you can, enhance to a slightly better camera if you need to, and work on that, or the controller of it, like if it's a PTZ, and then a different type of shots, and then work on maybe your sound. pick one little thing, baby steps. Is what I suggest.
Yeah, don't bite off more than you can chew. Because if you day one, if you go buy the big switcher and the big cameras, and you're not going to know how to use it. You're not going to learn it. You're going to get burnt out, and then it's going to sit and collect dust on it. So yeah, you have to start, but start small.
Yep.
Don't bite off more than you can chew.
Yeah. What if you come to the conference, and you need to come to the conference? When you come to the conference, I'm going to say, when you come to the conference and you're here and you check out the booth, that wasn't done in a day. It wasn't done in a week. It wasn't done in 5 years. I've been here since 2020. So it has not been done in 5 years. It's grown in those 5 years, and I've enhanced it and moved things around and upgraded and made the production better in 5 years. But it wasn't like that. It was still, level 10. Lucas did an incredible job of creating what he did when I came on board here, and it's kudos to him. And he still helps us out because we need his help. And so, just start small, build from that. That wasn't even done in 8 years. Since that booth was done in 2017, it slowly has built up in 8 years. So that's the biggest thing, is whether it's a little switcher, that is the same manufacturer that we use upstairs. They make a little tiny switcher that's this big that can have like 8 inputs or even 4 inputs, 4 inputs if you want to. Start with that, and you can stream from that, with a couple things and make that even better. And then you just get from that to what we have now. So just think small, build small, work on one thing, try to enhance one thing. Don't try to do too much. Ask for help, whether it's a consultant from somebody in your town, a video production company. If you're in town, somebody like Marty, they can come in and give a consultation. Other parishes, reach out to other parishes around and see what they're doing. Like, that's how I've learned some things too in mass production. I was in news production, so I had to learn some things about mass productions. I'm born and raised Catholic. My dad's deacon for 50 years, so I knew all about the mass. And knew about production. I just kind of like married them together. And I love doing what I'm doing because I get I have that aspect of all my life now coming together from what I did, learning growing up as a Catholic, son of a deacon, and then now the production. So just ask other parishes. Like, I've gone to other churches, Elevation Worship and Elevation Church and North Point, and I've learned like different points from them. And when I've gone to a conference, I go up to a camera person and say, "Hey, that's what I did once. I went up to one of the camera persons in a conference and I said, 'Hey, what do you guys use for this, this, or this?' And he was like, 'Okay, you know what you're talking about.'" They pulled me in the back. I met the production director there. We now have connected. So we talk to each other every now and then. We get ideas. I've learned, like, we were struggling with something here in the booth, and I reached out to the 2 production directors from other churches, and I said, "Hey, we're having this problem." One, I asked in person. One, I reached out through email. "We're having this problem. What do you do?" And they said, "Oh, do this, this, and this." Perfect. Found the solution.
That's incredible. And I like what you said, Pablo, to reach out to other churches too, just to help, to ask for that help with troubleshooting. That's a great idea.
Yeah. I mean, we're one faith.
Right.
We're here to help each other. Doesn't matter.
For sure. Now, we've talked about some production of events, and we've got our biggest event of the season. Well, I don't know if I guess big event. It's not quite as big as Christmas Eve, right? Because you have 5,000 people at the Cow Palace. But this is a huge event, Rebuilt Conference. So Pablo, talk to us a little bit about what makes you excited as somebody that's going to be there and be a part of this production.
Yeah. So this will be my first full Rebuilt Conference as part of being on Nativity staff. And so I'm excited on my end of a couple things. One, just we're going to use the whole campus. I mean, I guess that can be exciting and nervous for some. For me, it'll probably be nervous too. But we're going to use the whole campus at one time. So we've really not gotten a chance to do that, in the past 5 years. Maybe, during COVID with Christmas, we were spread out, obviously. So we used a little bit of cross-campus connectivity, and Easter we will with some venues, things. But this is really just using our for breakouts, our next gen area, our pavilion. Everything is basically going to be live at one point or another during the breakouts. So to me, it's exciting. To some, that it would be nervous, but that is what I'm excited for, is just being able to use the campus all at one time. Also having all these people, different people that I've talked to from different parishes, some rebuilt, that have, like, through email, get to meet them in person, seeing all these people with here for one goal, one purpose: enhance the church, enhance whatever the aspect of it is of your parish that you need, whether it's a kids ministry, whether it's operations, whether it's tech, whether it's your messaging, messaging and homilies. It's one place where everybody can come, for no matter what you do in a church, whether you're a volunteer, whether you're a staff member, and can learn from us, take away a few things, and bring them back to your parish. So that's kind of what I'm excited for, to meet the people, be able to do tech cross campus, connect everything all at one time, and just helping others grow. That's just what we want.
Yes.
So it's helping others grow in different ways, whether it's learning how the building stays clean so well because of the volunteers, whether it's the tech, whether it's all the awesome kids ministry we have. Just where can you go for one place to learn all these things?
Right. And I have a feeling, Pablo, people are going to be tracking you down, and, they're going to be asking you a million questions because they know that you're the guy to ask about this.
And I'm happy for that. So that, I might be getting pulled different directions, but I'm always happy to help. And whether it's me or I can put them, if I'm being pulled for something, I'm always happy to, here's Charlie. Here's Ron.
Yes.
Like, they can help you with something too, because we have a lot of people on our tech team that can answer things just as well as I can, because they've learned.
Exactly. Well, Marty, I would love for you to share what inspired you at Focal Point Productions to get involved with the Rebuilt Conference as a sponsor.
So I first, as I mentioned, I've known Pablo for many years, but it was only 2 years ago that we began to work together professionally for Nativity, and that was doing, as what you said, that massive Christmas Eve mass. So we just did our second one, just a few months ago at last Christmas, and I was blown away. I had no idea of what to expect to see that event. The thousands of people, they call it, it's at the Cow Palace at the fairgrounds. They call it the Cow Palace because a few months prior, it's filled with cows for the Maryland State Fair, right? Even just like 2 days before Mass, there was a motorcycle show in that venue. And when we got there, it's just dirty and dusty. And in a few days, that place is transformed. And it's amazing. And just seeing how well all the ministries come together. The kids have an amazing program. It's so clean. Like, there's food, the parking, and the service, and the music, and the lights. And it's an amazing event. And I want more clients, more parishes to be able to have that same level of production in an event. And it was so great to see that. And when Pablo approached me about being a part of this conference and this event, I wanted to jump on board. A lot of our clients are religious institutions. We do a lot of work for the Archdiocese of Baltimore and other archdioceses, and for the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops and the Maryland Catholic Conference, and organizations of other faiths. And so we really want to help all of our clients, no matter who they are, to be able to up their game. And this was a great opportunity to do that.
Amazing. Well, Pablo, from your perspective, why do you think the Rebuilt Conference is such an important event for parish leaders?
So, yeah, I kind of hinted on that a little bit. For parish leaders, whether you are a leader or even just a volunteer and your parish leader has asked you to be part of the conference on behalf of them, maybe the leader can't go, or the pastor can't go, but it's one place. The conference is one place where you can get, you can learn a little bit about every single ministry that we do here at Nativity. And so you can have someone from your kids ministry, from your operations, from your IT, from your tech, to your small group, whoever, your if churches still want to say CCD, your faith formation, whatever. That word, we can't say that word, right? CCD anymore.
I know. I love what Father Michael says it stands for, but we're not going to share that on here.
No. But everybody in a parish, no matter what you do, whether you're a volunteer or a staff, I think it's important for parish leaders to invite their staff if they can't go, or invite someone who runs a ministry as a volunteer to attend, and really try to make it hard to attend, because you can come here and you can learn one or two things, take them back to your parish, or you can learn a whole lot and take it back to your parish. But even if you just take one or two things away from the conference, I think that's just amazing for every parish. Maybe one parish is just struggling in one aspect. Right. And maybe that's just what they need. And coming here and just learning about their kids' ministry will help just boom their kids' ministry to what it potentially can be. Maybe it's just they're struggling in different aspects. So I think that's why the conference is so good, because where else can you go for a conference where you can have every type of aspect of a church ministry in one place? I've been to different conferences, and most of them are geared towards tech, but I've been to others where it's geared on a few things, not just tech, but it might be two or three, or, one or two things where you can learn about, where you can, you can learn about the operation side of things and the tech side of things, but you don't learn anything about the kids ministry, where here you can learn everything.
Right. It's going to be an incredible experience. And I'm with you. I'm hoping that parishes come and they leave with those key takeaways, and they're clear on what their next right step is. And the beautiful thing is we have so many ways that we can help them with that.
For sure. Yep.
So Marty and Pablo, any final thoughts on tech in the parish, how we can help parishes? How would you like to wrap us up?
I was going to let you take that one.
So like I said before, if you haven't registered yet, why? Please register. We'd love to have you here. I want to meet you, especially if you're, no matter what side of the ministry you're on. I'd love to meet people from all around the country, different countries that are going to be attending. I'd love to meet you, talk to you, and just get to know a little bit about your parish. So, but then also just if you can't, just do the few steps that we've talked about, like reach out to someone in Rebuilt, see if they, someone on Rebuilt can help with whatever aspect is you might need help with. And at the minimum, do that. Like, use Rebuilt as a tool. It's such a tool that is out there that can help in so many ways for parishes if you can't make it to the conference. But I hope you do make it to the conference. I want to meet you and just help your parish grow. And like I said, do the things that we've talked about. Start small, build small, reach out to people.
And I think, I'll piggyback on from there. Where else can you go and have volunteers, directors, ministers, priests, just so many people come together to learn so many aspects about what goes into having a parish. It's a one-stop shop to learn everything. We're the one part of that, the technology and the video and the media, but you can learn so much under one roof over the course of a day or two.
For sure.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. Well, Marty and Pablo, thank you both for taking the time to just pour into our Rebuilt community today. I hope that everybody got just some great takeaways on how they can start with their parish production and what their next steps are. So thank you both for sharing.
Yeah, thank you for having us. Yeah. Loved it.
And we want to thank our listeners, and we will see you June 2nd and 3rd at the Rebuilt Conference in Timonium, Maryland.